Guys, I know that you want to score 180 marks in physics. So you want to get the maximum marks in the physics in the NEET. Getting maximum marks in physics in the NEET examination is very crucial because it significantly improves your overall NEET score and opens your door to wonderful colleges and the branches that you are desiring. So, guys, in this session, I'll be giving you some successful tips on how to score maximum marks or probably 180 out of 180 marks in physics in the NEET examination. Okay, so guys, my name is Dr. Umashwankar Tripathi, and I am your physics educator. And I welcome here all the live students and all the students who are watching this video. And I hope that you are excited that what I am going to tell you here that will help you achieving maximum marks in the subject of physics. Okay, so guys, let us proceed with this. So first of all, let's understand a bit. Although I hope that being a NEET aspirant, you must be knowing that what is the structure of NEET. But let me give you a little bit glance on the structure of this examination. So basically, we know that the NEET examination held of 720 marks. So how many marks are there? So it is 720 marks. Okay. So out of the 720, 180 marks is for physics, 180 mark is for chemistry, and 360 from biology, which basically consists of zoology and botany. Okay. Now, out of this 720, what do you aspire to achieve? That how much score you want to get a good government seat of your MBBS or any branch that you desire. Okay, so definitely you want to score maximum marks out of it. Okay, now if I talk particularly about physics, so basically the physics is asked in 180 marks and it is asked in two sections. The first section is section A and the second is section B, and the distribution of marks is 140 and 40. So section A we are having 140 marks, and from section B we are having 40 marks. Okay, now how can we achieve maximum marks out of it? That is the big question, that is the big headache for the NEET students, that because sir, we are good in biology, we are good in chemistry, but we always suffer in physics for various reasons. Because some people say that physics is very tough, no, it is tougher like the steel, but it is not that. That is not very true. Actually, I'm going to tell you why. So let us first talk about that. How is the physics consist of what is asked in section A, what is asked in section B. So in the section A, guys, there are 35 questions. Okay, 35 questions, and each question carry 4 marks. So each of the question of NEET, either it is from biology side or whether it is from the chemistry side, each question is of 4 marks, right? Okay, so same holds for physics also. So in this first section, we do not have any choice. Okay, so the student must respond to every question. So that means that you need to answer every question. Okay, but remember, guys, a very important thing that you have negative marking here. So if you don't know the answer of any question, or if you are not sure about what is the answer of any question, you must not mark it because it will attract the negative marking. So rather than moving towards the MBBS seat in a government college, you will be moving backwards. Okay, okay. So don't do that. Okay. So now, sir, this is what is the question. No, how we get to know? How we get to know that what is the right answer of a question? Okay. So this is why we are here for. Okay, this is why we are here to help you out. Okay, now talking about the section B. Okay, so I'll be coming to this, that how we can get the right option of any particular question. I'll be talking it about briefly. So in section B, out of 15 questions, so there are 15 questions in section B, but you only need to attempt 10 questions. Okay, okay, so basically 5 questions are optional. So out of 15, you need to answer the 10 you are most confident about. Okay. Okay. So, and also you don't have to answer all this. So remember, only the first 10 questions a candidate can attempt, that candidate have attempted will be considered. Okay. If they have attempted more than 10. So some students, what they do, they attempt all 50. So those students, normally I have seen the students who are not prepared at all for NEET, they do this. Because see, when you invest some time in some preparation, you are very, very serious about it. You are not going to do anything that will attract the negative marking or reduce your score in the NEET examination. Again, in this section, each question carry 4 marks and it has negative marking. Now, to summarize the thing, so we have section A, we have section B. So how many questions do we need to do? So we need to do 35 questions from section A and 10 questions from section B. Okay. Okay. So so out of these questions, so we want to achieve the maximum mark. Okay. We want to get 180 marks. Sir, is it at all possible to get 180 out of what 180 marks? Why not? When a question is framed, the framer always wants the aspirants or the students who are writing the examination to solve this. Okay, a question has a destiny to get solved. So why you can't solve? So first of all, you have to be positive. You have to target for 180. Right now, marking scheme we already have talked about that if you answer a question correctly, you are going to get 4 marks, and if you are going to answer a question incorrectly, you are being awarded with a negative marking of 1 mark. Okay, so if you have solved a question correctly, 4 marks will be added to your score, and if you have done a question wrongly, then minus 1 marks will be attracted. So whatever score you are getting, one number, 1 mark will be reduced from it. Okay. If you leave any question unanswered, so obviously you are not going to get any positive or negative mark. And for extra attempted questions, so whatever questions are there, like if you have to do, we have to do 180 question out of 200 in the NEET. So what happens if you attempt all 200? So you are not going to get the marks for the 20 remaining questions. Okay, so you cannot score more than 720, right? So obviously, now the question is how we are going to get these marks. Okay, so guys, here is a topic distribution. Okay, so which topic is asked of what margin, and particularly I am focusing upon the physics part. Okay, so if you have a look at it, so here the first chapter is physical world and measurement. Okay, okay, so it is asked in 2%. So mostly we have done this analysis on the basis of the previous year questions pattern. Okay, so obviously there can be some deviation in NEET 2024, but more or less this trend has been followed from last 5 years. Okay, so the first chapter, physical world and unit and measurement, is of 2% margin. Okay, then we have kinematics of 7%. We have then followed by laws of motion 7%. Then we have work energy power, that is 4%. Then system of particles and rotational motion 4.5%. So on. So we have these margins of the topics that we do from our 11th and 12th class physics. Okay. Okay. So from electrostatics, this is from your 12th class syllabus, and to this is your 11th class distribution. 11th class chapters or units. These are these topics. Now, guys, please try to understand this. So sometimes what happens, what students start doing, and what many educators sometimes suggest, okay, that you only focus on the topics which attract the highest percentage of the overall score in the physics. But I, to some extent, disagree to it. See, if you want to achieve the maximum mark, if you want to achieve 180 marks, if you want to achieve 180 score or plus minus 10% of this 180 score, then you cannot leave any topic unattended, because here today I am talking about achieving the maximum marks. Okay, okay. So see, if I'll be talking like when the NEET examination is just like say 10 days, 15 days ahead, and you haven't prepared physics at all, then we have to do like this. This topic is of highest margin. Let's do this 5 chapter and go so that we can attain 40, 50 marks out of physics. But getting 40, 50 marks, my question to you is getting 40, 50 marks or 60, 70, 80, somewhat like that mark will help you enter a good medical college? What do you think? Obviously, no. Because, see, in biology, in chemistry, there are so many things to retain, and that has to be retained. But physics is kind of a subject that, first of all, the topics are interrelated. Like, for example, if I say physical world and measurement, now the hacks that I am going to give you from this topic is not only going to help you in this topic, but the concept that you are going to see from this topic is applied in almost all the chapters of physics. Okay, because the units of any quantity, any physical quantity is going to be used in each and every chapter. So even though this is of margin 2%, you cannot afford to leave. And I would say that this is one of the most important topics, because not only it is going to give you this 2% mark, it is going to help you to attain the remaining 98% marks of the physics. Okay, so it is not always advisable that you just do the statics and just go and study like that. Okay, when you are targeting 50, 60, 80, 100 marks, then it is fine. Okay, if you are targeting 40 marks, I can tell you that these 5 topics you do, definitely you are going to get 40 marks. Definitely you are going to get 50 marks. Okay, if you are targeting like 100 marks, I can tell you that this 10 topics you do, this 8 topics you do, you are going to get this much marks. Like, but when we are targeting the maximum marks, and why not we shall target the maximum marks? Okay, definitely if we decide to do it, definitely we will be able to. Okay, so I was talking about the units and measurements. So this topic, the concept we are going to learn, this is going to be used in each and every topic. Okay, okay, and our YouTube journey, our study journey, your study journey with me, we are going to start with this very chapter of units and measurement very soon. Afterwards, when we talk about kinematics, so what is kinematics? Kinematics is study of motion. When we are talking about the motion, then we talk about the kinematics. And now you can see that the margin is 7%. But I would say if you don't do kinematics, you will not be able to understand the laws of motion. You will not be able to understand work energy power. You will not be able to understand system of particles. You will not be able to understand gravitation. Okay. Okay. So see, in physics, the topics are not independent. Okay. Okay. One topic is dependent on some previous topics. Okay. So what students probably do in physics, first of all, that they are afraid of physics. Okay, why they are afraid? Because they think, normally the NEET aspirants, they think that's the mathematics we are not doing, and physics, so many mathematics is involved. So first of all, this is a false information. Not a lot of mathematics is involved in physics, although it is mathematics is involved, but with the basic concepts only. You don't have to have a very high level knowledge of the subject of mathematics to understand the physics. If we are good with some basic concepts like differentiation, integration, interpretation of graph, slope, very simple topics. In our journey, we are going to see all this. Okay, so the good part is, I want to tell you today that I am going to teach you some mathematics, the only mathematics that you will need for the NEET preparation of the physics examination. Not 1% less than that, not 1% more than that. Okay, okay. So as I was saying, then the laws of motion, Newton's law of motion, the famous Newton's law of motions. Okay, okay. I hope many of you must be aware of those. Okay, so we'll be talking about each of the topic in extent in a very short duration of time with the maximum efficiency. Okay, so what we have to do, rather than cherry picking of the topics, we have to firstly study in a sequence if we want to achieve 180 marks. So if that is the case, this physics is not going to be the headache for you. Okay. Now, sir, if we want to achieve 180 marks or near to 180 marks, definitely we must be able to solve conceptual questions. Okay, we must be able to solve the questions which are deemed to be difficult. If they are actually difficult or not, that is questionable. But if many of the students are saying that this is the difficult question, now those difficult questions will help you score more than the other aspirants. Okay, and since it is a competition, so you don't have to just pass. Okay, so we are a group of 15 people, everybody gets passed. In the same way, nearly 22 lakh students give the NEET examination, and if everyone is going to be near this 700, 720 score, so how will you be able to get the MBBS seat? Okay, so difficult question, one must pray for difficult questions actually, okay, in the competitive examination. So you will be able to solve these difficult questions, and this has to be solved if you want to get somewhere near 180 marks. Okay, and what are my suggestions and what is necessary? Not only suggestion, but I would say that this is the necessity. Okay, necessity if you want to do that. Okay, so the first thing is you must have a proper foundation. So, like when we have a home building up, if we don't have the proper foundation, what will happen to that home? Will you be able to live in it? No, it is going to collapse a day or 2 days. That is just a matter of time. Okay. So the first thing is your foundation must be strong. If your foundation is strong, then in advanced learning, and when I say advanced learning, I mean the questions which deem to be difficult or tricky. Okay. Then you must have a problem solving ability. Okay, and it is not like that I'm saying this problem solving ability, so it will come like this. Okay, I'll give you some medicine. Okay, probably you are going to deal with the medicines in the future, but this is not the case here. Okay, there is no such medicine of it. This is a step by step journey. So you will be able to get the problem solving ability when you have a good foundation, first of all. Then you need a lot of practice and conceptual clarity. Okay, and how this conceptual clarity is going to come? So this is going to come when you have a clear understanding of some concept, when that concept is open to you like anything. Okay, if some part of it is hidden, some part of it not clear, then you don't are not going to get the conceptual clarity in that particular topic. Okay. Okay, then application is specialization. Like what I mean by that is, like for example, that you have understood the kinematics, you have understood the part of kinematics. Now one question came from the law of motion. Okay, and if you have the specialization or you have a good understanding of kinematics, then some part of the question will be solved using those concepts only. Otherwise, you will not be able to reach to the level of that. Like for example, if I say Newton's second law, so I would say F is equal to ma. We all know force is equal to mass into acceleration. Now this is the Newton's second law, or this is from the topic of law of motion. But when I say this acceleration, which chapter is going to give you this acceleration? So for this you require understanding of kinematics. So my point is, unless you have the acceleration, how come you are going to get the force? Right? Okay, so knowing the concept well, then only you can, because see, if you have the merge question, some concept of kinematics is applied, some context of Newton's law is applied, then you will have to move in a very proper way, and you have to save your time as well. Okay, so not all the questions, not every question is that difficult, but as I said, the difficult questions or deemed difficult questions have their importance as well. Okay, so let's say out of 45 questions, 30 questions came very easy. So 30 questions came which are easy or moderate. Now please tell me, when a question is easy or moderate, and out of 20 lakh students in India, nearly 15 lakhs of students are preparing here and there. Okay, some are preparing from themselves, some are preparing from some sources available. Okay, okay. So these 30 questions, okay, out of those students, most of the students who are serious aspirants, almost 50-40% of the students are going to get marks out of these subjects. Now, these questions will not help you, although they are used to or they will be helpful in making the base, but they will not be able to be a differentiator. Okay, it will not be able to give you the top ranks that you see. Okay, okay. So to get that, you have to target this remaining 15 questions as well, which require your good fundamental understanding, your hold on the topics, your problem solving ability. Okay, okay. So is scoring well and long term learning. Okay, so what I mean here, that when you study something, so you don't have to be in a rush. Okay, sometimes what happens is students have started some chapter, like for example kinematics, they are had started. Now there is some sort of an ego in them, because I'll finish this chapter in 2 hours. There is no help it is going to give you anyway. Okay, see, whatever time is required for a topic, that top time has to be given. Okay, so it is not only about studying, it is also about retaining, that whatever you are understanding, you are able to retain it or not to a long period of time. And for that, we will have to have a proper revision strategy as well. Okay, okay. So here I have listed out for your ease that which are the topics that are required for a strong foundation in the basic concepts, and this is going to help you in each and every topic of the physics. Okay, not each and every topic, but most of the topics. Okay, like Newton's law of motion, law of universal gravitation. So I have here listed out some of the key concepts that you must be remember. It is not like Newton's law of motion and you just have memorize the definitions or the statement. So this is not enough. Okay, you have to understand it by heart. Okay, like every daily thing you do, there is no one to tell you that do like this. Okay, but you are by default you are doing like that. Okay, if any of you is now have learned to drive a motorcycle or a scooty or a vehicle, then from her now every not every time that you have to memorize, okay, now I have to accelerate the vehicle, I have to put the brake. So from heart it is coming now, like someone has came in front of you, so it is from your heart that the brake has to be applied. Now same way, these laws in your journey of physics must be in your heart, that wherever it is asked or from wherever it has been talked about, or in whatever question, in whatever form it is applied, it must came out of from your heart. Okay, so what are these topics? So I have listed out these topics, 10 laws which needs to be given utmost attention. Okay, the first one is obviously Newton's law of motion, law of universal gravitation, conservation of energy, that is first law of thermodynamics, then conservation of momentum used in the theory of collisions, phenomena of collision as well. In the part of fluid mechanics, it is also used. Then we have the Archimedes principle, which talks about the buoyancy. Then Ohm's law, Snell's law, Hooke's law, stress is proportional to strain, used in the solid mechanics. Okay, then we have the Doppler's effect, then the Coulomb's law. So these 10 topics, these 10 concepts, you have to do from your very foundation, because the question may be asked from any topic. Okay, these chapters, whether it is from mechanics or from electricity, these laws are of utmost importance. Okay, okay. Now, how we shall attain this? What should be what should be the effective study plan? What are the things to be noted down? What are the things that to be done for physics if you want to achieve this maximum marks or 180 marks? So you need to allocate at least 2-3 hours of study time each day. This is very important. Okay, and now when I say each day, I don't mean, so like for example, if you have been studying from last 10 days, you can afford to have a break. But if you are having break for 10 days and then you will study one day, this is not going to be You're just wasting your that day also. Are you getting my point? So see, you need to allocate 2 to 3 hours of study time each day, okay, depending upon your status. From status, I mean that what is your current status, how much physics you know as on the date or as on this time, okay. Second thing, you always need to prioritize the areas where you need more practice or have difficulty. See, it is a general human tendency. For me as well, for you as well, some topics we understand like this very easily. We are able to recall them very easily. But there are some topics we are unable to recall as easily as the later one. Okay. Now you have to identify those. Okay, you have to identify. How can we identify those? Okay, so for example, I am just I just forget the formula of, let's take some random example. Let's suppose coefficient of viscosity. Okay, so formula of coefficient of viscosity I forget. Okay, now after 10 to 12 days, again I have to recollect it. Okay, this topic, for example, fluid mechanics, I have this tendency of forgetting. I am unable to retain the concept of it. So you need to focus more on these sort of topics. So for that, first you have to know these topics. And to know this topic, there is only one way, that you start studying from today. Okay. Okay. So when you start studying, all these things will evolve over the time. Okay. Okay. Now, regularly review and revise. So this is the key to success. Okay. See, there is a fact that if you study something, like for example, first time. Okay. So you have studied something for the first time. Within 24 hours, you are going to forget 20% of it. Okay. I challenge you. Okay. If you are studying any topic for the very first time, within 24 hours, you are going to forget 20%. Okay. Then, sir, how we are going to manage it? Okay. So, this 20% that you have forgotten, okay, this is where you have to focus upon. Okay. So, first time you have studied some topic. After a week, you will see that 30% is like there in your heart. You remember it. You open your copy by seeing a word. You can then think of that what is going to come next after it. Okay. So how to take care of this 20%? So for this, you need to do the review. Okay. So one topic you have studied, after 2 days, after 3 days, you revise that. Once you revise that, then you will see that this 20% that you have forgotten, the next time you are revising, it will be reduced to somewhere near 10 to 5%. Okay. And once you reach this level, then your study is going in the right way. Okay. Okay. See, this is the human tendency. Okay. So some things we are going to forget. If you trying to memorize everything, that is not possible. And physics is a subject that doesn't require this memorization thing a lot. That is the plus of this subject. Once the concept is taken, okay, once it is digested, okay, there is nothing that can take it out of from you. Okay, and I'll tell you, in the modern day medical sciences, the physics is used quite heavily. Okay, like for the dentist, if you visit any dentist, you ask him, every day they are getting updates in the implants. Okay, this physics, when we talk about this motion, you are going to study this biology. So when we are seeing our joints, this is nothing but the mechanics. Okay. Okay, here the mechanics is involved. When we'll study, we'll see that how the joints are going to work. So this is, in the modern day medical sciences, physics is of utmost important. And see, when you understand this physics, not only it is going to help you in qualifying your NEET examination, it is going to have you at an edge in the medical sciences as well. Okay, you will have an extra edge over your counterparts in that prospect. Okay, so when you are revising, when you are reviewing your content, you have to see, tests are very important. So you have to then see that whether whatever you are studying, are you effectively implementing it to the test. Okay, because NEET is the ultimate test. But to reach that ultimate test, you must go through a lot of tests. Okay, so mock tests at regular interval to assess your progress and improve time management is very important. And this is also like you are going to give a mock test of a full subject test, or you have clustered 10 topics. Let's suppose you have clustered this 11th class physics, and you have studied this 11th class physics, and you just give the mock test for the 11th class physics. So when you see when we are studying in a normal pace in a regular level, so when you are studying, let's suppose units are measurement, so whenever a question came to you, you very well know that this is the question from the unit and measurement topic. Okay, so whatever is there, you need to apply the concept of that chapter. But when you are getting the questions mixed, like all the topics are randomly mixed, okay, then in a question, not only you must remember the formula, you must first identify that from which topic this question is actually asked. Then only you will have to be applying the formula, right? Okay, so giving the mock test is very important. Okay, and consistency. Okay, so one day I woke up in the morning, I studied 14 hours a day. The next day I studied 14 hours a day, and the third day, from the third day, I'm not going to study anymore. Okay, so this should not be the case. You must be steady, you must be consistent, and you always must be self-accepting yourself. And this is the key to success. Okay, okay. Also, so I have seen many educators talking about preparing a timetable. Okay, so definitely I agree that a schedule is needed. Okay, a timetable is needed, but I also strongly suggest that adjustment in the schedule is also needed. Okay, so once you have made the schedule, okay, then also you must ensure that that schedule is followed, and if not, you must make the necessary adjustment as per your life routine. Okay, okay. Also, this is very important that you understand, especially in physics, because see, the topics are very interrelated. Okay, okay. So how electricity is interrelated with this mechanics? So that is also mechanics only in a way. Okay, I'll be telling you when the time will come. Okay, so you understand each topic thoroughly before you move to the next topic. Otherwise, what is going to happen in the next topic? You will lose your confidence. Okay, I'm studying, but I'm not able to get anything. Okay, I'm not able to understand this thing. So this is going to have a negative impact. This is going to have a negative impact over your confidence, and confidence is very important for this study. So guys, okay, so sir, lot of things you have told us. Okay, now how I am going to help you students in that. Okay, so as I said, the first chapter, that is of units and measurement, physical world, and the dimensions. So this is what we are going to come up with for you. So I'll be firstly starting the chapter 1 and 2 combinedly. Okay, so in your NCRT, this is your chapter 1 and chapter 2, physics, physical world, and units and measurement. Okay, so these are the upcoming sessions. These are the sessions that we are going to come up with, and one by one, within very short span of time, we are going to cover each and every topic of physics beautifully. And I am very sure that you are going to love this subject the way it is. Okay, so these are the upcoming sessions that we are going to come up with. The first one, we are going to start with understanding the dimensions. Okay, here we'll be talking about the basics of units, that what is units, why it is needed in this world. Okay, how to start with the units and how to understand the dimension. Okay, and later on we'll talk about the principle of dimensional homogeneity. Okay, then we develop the formulas of different physical quantities through dimensional analysis. Then we talk about the significant figures. Then we'll be doing the error analysis. And then finally, we'll be talking about the actual measuring instruments like vernier calipers and the screw gauges. Okay. And finally, we'll solve some important problems from this chapter. and afterwards we'll solve the NEET questions, the previous year NEET questions from this very chapter on YouTube only. Okay, so these sessions will help you complete your first unit. Okay, so guys, I hope you will join me in this upcoming sessions and make physics not a headache anymore, and you are going to make it easy, fun. Okay, so guys, with this, thank you very much, and I hope to see you very soon in the upcoming live sessions of the first chat. So thank you very much. Have a good day. And do not forget to subscribe.